Don't pray for what you need, but act like it's not going to be a burden attached to it.
Yeah.
You said you need 100 bands. I need you to make 100 calls. I need you to get through 99 no's, and I'm going to give you $100,000 yes.
Yeah. I need to be in a position of where I can control it.
Yes.
Right?
The day before I actually texted you,
Yeah.
you had already said that. So
Yeah.
you already brought it into the realm of existence just by speaking it.
Yeah, I was like, man, I left at the wrong time.
I love that. Because that tells you two things. One, no matter what we were saying to each other, didn't matter. And the second thing, you could actually recognize, like, everybody ain't gonna. But you were just saying, friends don't always agree or whatever the case was.
Yeah, so what's a relationship? You know what I'm saying? Where you always agree. You know what I'm saying?
There
That
ain't
was
no-
almost like a yes. You know, it turns into like, you know, every time we don't never disagree.
Yeah.
Or we don't never, you know, we always eye to eye. Like it don't work like that. I mean, and that's relationships, whether it's business, friends, marriage. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not gonna not.
It's like even having a conversation with y'all. It's like, babe, do we agree all the time?
Do we agree
Like me and like, do we really all agree? No, that's the truth is. But the funny thing is, so you're like, man, I probably left at the wrong time, going back, whatever, and then I text you.
Yeah.
So what are you thinking at that time when you already thought it, you said it, and then you get the text?
So now I'm like, hey, I kind of double back. I'm like, yeah, I think I'm about to go back.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know, I was like, man, I'm like, I think it's a good opportunity.
Yep.
I'm like, man, and I said, man, and then at the end of the day, we talked. You know what I'm saying? You and our conversation, you was just like, look, man, the door open. You've been supportive. Because at the end of the day, I always wanted it to be, I never wanted it to seem like it was no type of bad blood.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Because remember before I was like, man, like, are you doing this to be weird or are you really being supportive?
So,
remember I asked you that because
yeah.
I'm like, you're making me feel weird. I'm not used to this.
so, and what, because
And I'm a direct communicator too, so I just asked.
like, what's up?
Yeah.
Because even with like with the thing, like, so when the comment was like, when Tyrone was like, man, you know, your wife the only one that think you dress better than me, and I laughed at it.
Yeah.
I was like, you know, no, you know, it's a mutual. I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
no, I like all your, you know, I like all your content.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I don't have no beef.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I ain't got no, I don't have no ill feelings.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I just thought, I'm like, shit, I thought it was funny. So I
Exactly.
laughed at it. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't gonna comment, but I thought it was funny.
And so that's why I was like, okay, like, is it, because you, like I said, I'm a direct communicator, so I'm like, yo, like, what is this? You know what I mean? Just tell me for real. Like, and you're like, no, this what it is. I'm like, okay. And then after that, it was like more love and more love and more love, just so it's not weird.
It ain't weird.
It's not weird. And I appreciated that. So when the time came and I was seeing the support, I'm like, you know what? Like, I need some people on the team that actually understand what we do. We got the processes down to a science now. We got motion and we got momentum. And I never turn around and go back and re-grab. But I was like, I like the cat. I like what he does. When like let's talk about like Brady Belichick. You think they always was getting along?
Oh,
like
heck no.
Jordan and Pat, you think they was always getting along? Like, do you understand what I'm saying? Like when you like the way I was explaining it to Nicole was like, I need somebody who knows what they want, and I can assign them to things and they will really follow through on it because they also want those things too.
Yeah.
So the benefit is mutual. Anyway, you guys always catch us in the middle. Welcome to the Loaded Conversation. I appreciate you today. I got a friend, an immaculate business individual, husband, coach, father, Stevie Freeman. Welcome to the Loaded Conversation, brother.
Appreciate
it's
it.
absolutely my pleasure to have you on the show. They got to hear a little bit behind the scenes, but do me a huge favor and tell our viewers about your background and how you got into real estate.
So I'm from Detroit, relocated down here for real estate. I started, you know, with my wife. She got her license in Detroit. I did pre-licensing and then just decided not to get licensed. You know, then
It happens like that.
Yeah, just decided not to get licensed. So fast forward, you know, my cousin is he a big time real estate mogul down here.
Okay.
And he like, hey man, you know, you really can you really can run it up down here. Get licensed.
Yeah.
So I did all my pre-licenses crazy because I wanted to come down before I did in October of 2020. I wanted to come down here before then, and then the pandemic happened. So everything shut down. So I ended up just doing my pre-licensing work, came down a few times, then took my test. I passed the national part, failed the state part twice, and then was like, all right, well, I can't do another 30 hours of pre-licensing.
Yep.
So I ended up finding a place that'll let me take it in Detroit.
Yes.
It's online anyway. Took it that third time, passed it, and then everything was just we were just rolling from there. And then it was just we ended up moving down, and did some stuff. Connected with some people. We did some good networking, and then you got connected.
You want to know what's crazy? So before the pandemic, Nicole and I came down. She brought me down for my birthday, yada, yada. I have family down here. The Womack family is big in real estate, big real estate moguls. Our stories are crazy eerily close.
Yeah.
So then didn't come down for real estate necessarily, but the gym business I had in I'm from Detroit too, moved over to Windsor, Ontario, Canada, had a big gym brand there after a long period of weight loss story and yada. Everybody wanted to get down. So I'm like, all right, I got to make a business out of this.
Yeah.
And what ended up happening was in 2019, before the pandemic, I was having all these issues with my business partners. Very similar stuff that we were just talking about off camera. And I was like, man, I can't believe this. And Nicole was like, man, we was always going to move to California. That was one of our dreams. We did a lot of traveling across the United States and, some, Mexico. And we was about to get ready to do some overseas stuff. And when we came here, she just said, man, you need to move to Texas. That's what she said to me. She said, you need to move to Texas. And I didn't even realize I don't know if it was for the gym or just the culture and the opportunity. And so came down 2019 because it was the gym stuff. Then the pandemic hit. So it was like, wow, it's great that I'm already here. Took my licensing after I did like a real estate, an REI, how we have the networking events down here, bought into a mentorship program. Took my license, passed the national, failed the state, because the state was so state specific, and I think Texas is one of the only states that you got to do 180 hours, and then you got to do the national and do both tests. So I failed the state, then I failed the state again. Exact same situation. I was like, I'm not doing another 30 hours. Let me go ahead and get this together. I did the FAQs, read them from the Trek website, highlighted it, just let it read it to me over and over and over and over and over again to satisfy my ADHD. And finally passed that test, came down, and then me and you know what I mean?
I remember talking about it. I was like, man, I failed it twice. You're like, man, damn,
I'm on the second one.
I'm on my second one.
And I failed that one too. And when I went back and I failed it by one, that was the thing about it. The lady told me, she was like, it doesn't tell you.
Which one?
Yeah.
But it's by 1 point.
Yeah. I'm like, damn, okay. So I just gave and the thing about it is, I didn't even give myself, like, a lot of people like to go back and take a lot of time and restudy. I'm like, nah, if I was one away,
I'm right there.
That's
what I did. We was down here. I took it the first day, and then I came back. They're like, you need 24 hours.
Yep.
So I did it again while I was here. I'm like, well, I'm gonna just go right back.
Yeah.
And then I think I missed about 2 instead that time. Instead of 1, it was 2 the next time.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, well, I ain't got that time now, so I'm gonna go back home.
Yep.
And I found it. I set it up while I was here, as a matter of fact.
Yep.
See, I could go right over to Dearborn. I could take the test.
Get to the proctor. Yep.
Man, I
didn't even know you could do it that way.
Yep.
Okay, so with that being said, we kind of know what brought you here. You had a cousin that was already kind of killing it, and I think it's one of those things where, you got the kids.
Yeah.
You're married. You ain't traveling alone, so you got it's different pressures. Being a husband and a realtor has got to be challenging, right? So how do you and your wife kind of navigate, the demands of the children, like we was talking about this morning, because we do real estate differently, staying active, like, how do you balance both of those, professional, fatherhood and the demands of your career?
Yeah, so it changed.
Yeah.
It's constantly changing, man, and it's always something to work on, because not only do I got to focus on the career aspect and the father aspect, most importantly, my number one ministry is being a husband. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it becomes challenge in that area. You know what I'm saying? How can how can I be a good husband?
Yep.
And like you say, maintain the father part.
Yep.
And the professional part.
Man,
you know what I'm saying? So
preach on it, man, because
you know, it get tough, you know what I'm saying? But and I always wanted to be, because even prior to moving here, you know, I told the wife, I was like, look, I don't want to go back to the school.
Yep.
I'm like, so I'm gonna bet on us. At
Yep.
the end of the day, she was there. I was like, we can just dive right into your thing. And I just wanted to be, because I was one of the type of people that once all my PTOs was up,
Yep.
it was time for me to leave that job.
Yep. Yep.
So now I'm like, man, I need to be in a position of where I can control it.
Yes.
Right. And I don't miss a beat from the kids.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm there.
Because that's probably the most, man, as a father, you know, I got young kids and I got an older boy. So my older boy, I'm like, yeah, he cool. He texts me, you know, I'm like, yeah, I'm about to be busy. His mama coming down from Canada for 3 days. So he like, yo, I'm gonna be gone for 3 days. Yeah. So I'm like, no, you ain't got it. I don't sweat it. But then I got my 3-year-old, my 4-year-old. And, you know, that balance between, you know, we work in the business together, but then not letting, like, let's say we start at 8, we stop at 4, and then somebody call and we got to deal with something, you know what I mean? Not letting what's bothering you in the business bother you in the relationship.
At home.
Not, you know, making sure you get a date night or two in every month and starting to learn, like, you know, because I think relationships require spontaneity, but then proper planning prevents poor performance.
Correct.
So it's like, we need to put these 2 date nights on the schedule, and also the spontaneity will be what are we doing?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because if we're not, we gonna miss it, and then we need money.
Yeah, we gotta have money.
Whether we like it or
with the lifestyle we want to live is
requires money.
It requires money,
and then the way you want to raise the children requires money.
The way,
we want to keep them protected. You know, prayed up over.
Yeah.
What's been the most rewarding aspect of working in real estate for you?
Man, just really just serving the people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like like you said, I coach. You know what I'm saying? Which at the end of the day is serving people. You know, educator, educating and coaching, it goes hand to hand. It's serving people. So real estate at the foundation of it is serving people.
Yeah.
You know, so that's the most rewarding when you get to take those pictures. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You'd have been through the fire with somebody and you've been just as emotionally invested as they are, but still logically thinking, because 2 emotional people it ain't gonna work out right. So, you know, just being able to be like, all right, listen, I got you. Y'all just need you to trust me and let's work through it. And then, man, just getting to the finish line. You know what I'm saying? And now everybody gets a breath of fresh air. You know, so just being able to see, like, you know, I was able to serve this purpose. I was able to serve this person and this purpose.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And seeing it all the way through, you know, it's not.
You know, they say in life that if you want to ultimately have everything that you want to have in life, then you got to give somebody everything that they want in their lives. And the thing about real estate is when you get really good at it, you're probably closing anywhere between 2 to 5 deals a month, and you got them just running congruently, like back to back to back. So now, at this point, the money's really not an issue.
Yeah.
It's about balancing the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And I think that's the most challenging part. And for me, I love the grind. That's my prop. Like, that's my gift and my curse. Like, downtime is more of an issue for me than uptime. What's been one of your most memorable deals that you can remember that, you know, where you serve that person and purpose? What was one of the most memorable ones? Or even a moment within a deal or a person that you might have had a breakthrough with.
So, this might have been my
one of your earlier
second
deals?
or third, one of my second or third deals. I had this lady. She was a teacher.
Yep.
And she was older, but she was just real. Like, she didn't believe in business hours.
Yes.
Right.
So she was like 8:30
at night.
No, 8:30 at night.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Text like, this is, you know, I'm bothered. I'm concerned about this, and I'm like, hey, listen, I'm gonna hit you in the morning.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
But she would do stuff like, all right, well, I seen this place.
Yep.
I done already rode through the neighborhood.
Yep.
I like it. I look, you know, I peeped in the windows.
Yes.
You know, so she would do stuff like that, and she'd be like, you don't have to come out here. You know what I'm saying? So it was one of them type of deals, but she was just like, my wife would just be like, oh, that's her again. You know, I don't want to say her name, but she'd be like, oh, that's her again, because she would see how I am when my phone
go
off,
when you just look at it. Yep.
She'd be like, "Oh, that's Miss such
and
such." And, you know, and it was kind of like, so thing after thing happened. Oh, I don't think I'm worried because I might not have this money, or I might not have that, or I need the money for the homeowner's insurance. So it was just thing after thing after thing and after thing. So then we finally got to it, and then because we actually had a deal with a new build,
construction,
and it appraised like 20,000 below.
Yes.
And they like, no, we not doing nothing.
Yeah.
That's when the market was crazy.
Yeah,
People was paying over. They was a wave and the appraisal and all that. She like, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
And they was like, we ain't budging.
Yeah. So y'all at a standstill.
So now we got to get out of that, and now we got to find something else.
Yeah.
And we end up finding something else. And then, man, it just to be able, like I say, just that experience, because I know how stressed out she was, and she was stressing me out.
Yeah.
So my thing was to not let her stress me out any more than what she had already did.
Yeah. And she was already for real stressed.
Oh, man.
So it wouldn't be what people don't understand about realtors, especially if you're dealing with 3 to 5, like I said, 3 to 5 closes a month. The level of tolerance that you have to have, which is why you have to have a great partner or be single, right?
Yeah.
And you got to have, like I'm always talking to the team about, putting the good stuff into your mind and in your body early on in the day and stuff like that. So honestly, you're just deflecting everybody else's demons.
Yeah, for sure.
Because really, it ain't even yours. Like really what happens is you open up yourself to people, and then you become susceptible to everything that they bring.
So what they bring.
Right? Yeah. And so people don't understand, like when you're serving people, it's ministry to the finest, right?
Yeah.
So what drew you to Connect Property Group the first time, right? Transition to the Loaded Agent team. Like what drew you to the whole...
So, like we had a mutual friend.
Yep.
At the time, and
at the time,
it was just kind of like, man, this is what I'm doing, right? And you like, and this was when, man, I'm proud to say, because don't nobody know. I don't think a lot of people don't realize, like I was probably one of the charter members of Connect Property.
You were.
And
I'm proud of that. Sorry to cut you off, because we were figuring it out.
Yeah. So so it was pretty much. So it wasn't so much the Connect Property brand that drew me.
Yeah.
It was the relationship that I was able to get with you.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It was like, hey, this is what I'm doing. This is how we gonna do it. And I'm like, all right, well, let's roll.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, that we had a conversation, the best coaches are coachable.
Yes.
Right. So I can't be coach free.
Yes.
And not be able to be coached by Coach Carlos, Coach Odin, whoever. You know what I'm saying? Coach Smith. I got to be able to be coached by these people.
It's crazy to me, by the way, that people don't realize that Dale Earnhardt, Wayne Gretzky, LeBron James, Michael Jordan, you know what I mean? Steve Smith for the Panthers, everybody, you know what I mean? Terrell, every great that you can ever imagine has been coached.
Had to be coached.
And one of my favorite Lil Wayne's lines says, when I'm through balling, I coach. Because when you look at, I think it's Steve Kerr right now, who's killing them in the league right now. There's 2 other coaches in basketball right now. Deion Sanders right now in football, going back to, bro, if you can't coach and be coached, you're not going to succeed. That just is what it is. Yeah. Also, like we talked about, we had those butting head moments, like those friction moments when you're like, yo, I think, we could probably, I'm like, well, I just need you to. But it's about seeing a bigger picture. Yeah. It's like sometimes I might be on the field and, we called the play, and then I get out there, I'm like, nah, the monster back is shifting. So I got to call an audible. And then I'm on the sideline like, bro, why you calling audible? I already called the play. You know what I mean? Yeah. But you just get better and better through those adversities.
Yeah.
Now, how is being a part of the team impacted your career up until this point?
So it keeps, man, it keeps me active.
Yeah.
One of the main things, just being with the broker I was with before, is having a fend for yourself. Yeah. So being new here to Houston in general.
Yep.
Just having a fend, kind of, and being an entrepreneur, that check might come this time, you might not get another one for another 6 months.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I think one of the benefits of being with the Loaded Agent team, now the Loaded Agent team that was Connect Property, was the amount of activity I was receiving, man. And again, and whether or not those leads actually turned into clients, it's the activity.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what make you better. The activity, you know,
the reps, the motions,
across,
calling the plays,
getting with these people, running the plays. You know, you're gonna stumble, you're gonna fumble. You know, I think, you know, my first play with Connect Property, I had, you know, the guy was, to say the least, he wasn't, I don't want to call him a weirdo. It was weird in general.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, it fell through, but I learned so much.
Yes. You learn so much to the fact that when you got the people that came that was already ready, like you was ready.
We just roll with it. Yeah, it's just
like I think we had Mr. Richmond in Richmond. You know what I mean? It was like that, some of them came and they was just, you know, smooth as butter.
Smooth.
And I think that's one of the things that, you know, when you get an entrepreneur that's already ready, it's like a coach dreams of a player that already has skill.
That already got tools in his toolbox.
Man, like that, it don't get no better than that.
I tell that all the time when I talk to coaches. When I talk to coaches about Sir, I tell them all the time. I say, man, my thing as a coach, and as his dad, is to make sure when you get him, he already got tools in his toolbox.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Which makes your job less strenuous and less difficult.
If I show you all of Antoine's game tape from like 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years old, and then you watch Coach Gannett come into our living room and we're all talking together with one another, you're going to see like Coach Gannett gives him the direct instructions, and then Coach Gannett gives me the instruction as dad in year one. I just need an hour, Dad, from you every night.
This is what we got to work on.
This is what we got to do. Yeah. This is what I need from you. 15 minutes a night. You know what I'm saying? 4 nights a week, boom, that's your hour. That's an hour. So you don't overthink it. By the next year, I was coaching in the league. Because I already, then I would give him that, then I would go watch the games, and I'm like, that dad didn't give the 60 minutes. That dad didn't give the 60 minutes. That mom didn't give, you know what I mean?
They was waiting on the coach.
They's all waiting on the coach. But you got to prepare the people a little bit. So with that being said, are there any specific qualities or skills that you believe every loaded agent or just agent in general should have, like tools in their tool bag or things that they need to develop when they're starting to get licensed, whether they're seasoned? Are there specific qualities or skills that now that you have, especially since we go through our coaching on a regular, what do you think really makes a loaded agent and, you know, pushing an agent to becoming a loaded agent?
Being personable.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta be, even if you not a people's person, you gotta be a people's person.
Yeah, period.
You know what I'm saying? That's just the nature of the beast. That's the nature of the business. You gotta be a people's person. Yes. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I think that being personable, that's big, man, and being organized, because, you know, one of the main things, you know, and then I even said it earlier in our meeting. Yeah. Man, just being able to have the office in the house, to where I can get up and be like, all right, well, I'm about to go to the office and I ain't gotta leave. Yes. You know what I'm saying? But it makes me get up, get ready like I'm about to leave, you know what I'm saying? And then go. And now I got this stuff on the board to where I know, okay, well, this is the schedule. Yep. I'm about to do blah, 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 blah.
Period.
So that's one of the main things, because if you gotta, the more volume you get, the more activity you got, the more organized you gotta be. It's easy to forget about people.
It's so easy.
It's so
especially
easy
people that's nagging you.
You see what I'm saying? It's so easy to forget to follow up with this person after 5, because I gotta be ready. I gotta be getting the kids ready to get out the house by 5:30 to get to football practice on time.
Okay.
So now I'm like, oh shoot, I was supposed to call this lady back after 5. You know, so it's easy to forget about stuff. So you gotta definitely be able, you know, the planner. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Just whether it's written down on the whiteboard or whether written down on the planner, I got 2 of them. Yes. And I gotta continue to make use of them, being better at making use of those things.
And now watch. Now you got tools in the bag. You got a skill set. You know you got to be organized. You know you got to be personable. Now watch when I add. Now we starting with the appointment setters, setting up the outsourcing, the virtual assistants, yada, yada. Now watch when you evolve and I say, Stevie, you want to add, 15 hours to your week for your virtual assistant to make your follow-up calls? Yeah. You want them to go into your follow-up boss and make your calls and your texts for you just to make contact with your people? Okay, sir. Mr. Freeman will give you a call. I'm going to put it in his calendar right now, right? Yeah. Because now you can get the kids to school. You don't have to worry. All you got to do is hit your assistant like bop, bop, bop. Make sure we run these plays.
Yeah, making sure the players run.
So that's that's huge. That's why we talk about that every week. So we're starting to get big into the cash offer business, trying to teach y'all the Novation play, and we just recently did a Novation deal. from the way we talked about it to how you took action and then you booked the appointment.
Yeah.
Walk me through what you discovered, like just in that deal. Like, what did you discover just in that deal?
Man, it blew my mind just seeing just how it was. Again, just how the players ran, right? So, we call the play, hey, I got this appointment. Let's go out here, let's check it out. It's a probate, right? And, the guy was just kind of like, it's this, it's that. He basically answered all the questions that I had, for him on the phone already. Before I could ask the questions, he was like, okay, it's this many bedrooms, this many bathrooms. I already got it appraised. This is what it's for. If you give me this, let's go. Right?
Now, what's a probate for people that might be watching that don't understand what that means?
So a probate is when, someone died and they leave the property to someone.
Yes.
Don't necessarily got to be a family member, but to someone.
Yes. Now, you get on the phone. We give you the leads. All you got to do, in all honesty, is call them.
Call them and talk to them. Call them and talk to them.
All you got to do is call them and talk to them.
That's it.
And if you spend 2 hours doing that over the course of 5 days, you spend 10 hours. If it's a numbers game, something falls out.
Gonna fall.
So now you call, you get on the phone, you make the appointment. Now we're there. Now he answered all your questions, set the appointment. You hit me like, here's the info.
Let's go out here.
So now once we get there, now run us through that part of it.
So now we there, and then it's like, all right, so first of all, we got out there, and I didn't expect it to be what it was because I would always pull up the house on Google Maps or Apple Maps, and when I pulled this one up, all I seen was trees.
Yes.
So now I'm concerned. Also, remember that he told me it was worth over $400,000,
yes.
right? But I'm like, it can't be.
Yeah.
All I see is trees.
Yes.
Right? So we get out there, and, it's this massive yard.
Yep.
It's this massive house.
Yep.
With this lake behind it.
Mm.
So now we walking through the house. We done already talked about like, oh no, this is nice. Through the garage.
Yep.
Oh, this is nice.
Yep.
Through the studio part he
Yep.
had, right? Oh, this is nice. Now we through the house. Now we upstairs and we in the sunroom and we like, this sweet.
This is it.
Oh no, this is the real deal. So I can see, because now you pull your comps and then you see right down the road like it's something on the market for over 500,000.
Yes.
So
close
now,
to 6.
Close to
and
6.
And something that just sold for about 7.
You see what I'm saying? So now we walking through like, okay, so now we did that, we conversed, and now it's time to talk about the numbers, right?
Exactly. So proper preparation prevents poor performance. We show up with the numbers. We got the comps. You couldn't see it on maps, so you physically got to be there.
Got to be there.
We walk it. It's starting to make sense. And now we can have a real conversation with the client.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, is become a friend.
Yeah.
And the thing that I love about that deal is that, I'll just say it, older white gentleman, father was even older and whiter, right?
Yeah.
Couple of young black brothers. He's already had offers from people of his own kind. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that he was just like, whatever, the hell with.
We show up. It's about 6 countries.
It's 6 of them.
Super country, okay? Outside.
Yeah.
Country is all ever talking about this and that, right?
Yeah.
Just and we sit down with him, and he wants a certain number. We go back and forth. We land on the number.
Yeah.
You and I talk about the way that the deal's going to go. Now, usually there's challenges in a deal.
Yeah.
This one was kind of odd because there really wasn't too many. And I'm talking about everything, from inspection to appraisal to marketing to him actually allowing us to implement.
He trusted us from the start.
Wow.
Yeah, he trusted us from the start.
How important, this ain't even on here, how important is he and your client to trust you?
Man, that's big because, once we walked through and, he told us, we let him tell us everything. You know what I'm saying?
How important is it to just let your client just talk?
Just let them talk. Because they're going to tell you, they're going to give you all the expectations. If you let them talk, they're going to tell you everything. Just like when you call and people will tell you their pain points.
Yes.
You got to listen. You know what I'm saying? And I learned that, that was one of the things I learned with cold calling, which I don't understand why it took me so long to just actually really get to it.
Yeah.
But one of the things I learned from my cousins, ain't real estate marketing, by the way.
Yeah.
I learned from him. He was like, man, you get on the phone, you introduce yourself, and then you let them talk. They gonna tell you what it is. So now when I get on the phone, I introduce myself, and then I tell him why I'm calling, and then I just kind of just sit
And
there
I
for a
told
second.
you, and Nicole told you, and we were in
sit there for a
first with
second.
real estate. Marlon already told you. I always give them the apologetic approach.
Yeah.
Let them know that I value their time.
Their time.
And if they don't mind, with their permission, I just like the 3 minutes.
Can we
I
have a
think I
couple
got
seconds?
some information that might be very helpful for you.
Yep. So we walked through. He told us everything that he liked, everything that he thought was good about the house.
Yes.
And like you say, we agreed with it. Whether or not we thought like, all right, well, these floors got to come out. It's old. You hit this in the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? Whether we thought that or not, he thought we knew what he valued with that house.
Exactly.
Right? And it was just kind of just like, it was just, we assured him, throughout the process, no, we gonna take care of this. We gonna take care of this house for you.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And then at the end of the day, you don't really, once you give us the okay and we sign the dotted lines, you can just go out of town
Yes.
for them 3 weeks in
Yes.
July like you said you got to do anyway.
Yeah.
And don't
and
worry
when you
about
come
it.
back, the money just, and it
It'll be
was.
there. It'll be
So
there.
what did you learn, or what lessons did you take away from this particular? Because you should be excited to present a cash offer, understanding that some, like I try to teach other realtors outside of the team. That's why I'm not really taking no more realtors on the team. I'm just coaching them.
Yeah.
If they just out of the park with it, we might get a new member. But other than that, I'm gonna keep us protected from stupidity, so I can keep giving us the same amount of time that we need. But a lot of realtors be like, well, man, the cash, I don't want to make the offer. Listen, we can get the cash. We got the cash. But we get the opportunity to give the negotiator and give them the solution that they actually want.
Yeah.
If they just want the money closed in 90 days and they don't care about everything in between, what do you care? Why do you care?
Wow. Yeah.
So what did you realize throughout the course of this trend? Because I tell you guys, look, we can go in, we can do a traditional listing. We can do a loaded listing. I'm gonna teach y'all. I put y'all on with Credit Ninja. I want y'all to Credit Ninja. By the way, she was pissed when I had with my credit. She was like, "What the hell is your problem?" But I'm gonna teach y'all how to get leverage.
Yeah.
Work the LLC so you can start getting money to the LLC. Build up the business credit so when you apply for it, they know that the business is already functional and active.
Yeah.
What did this particular deal open your mind or your eyes or your strategic thinking to now that we've gone through this transaction?
Man, just that the loaded, just being the loaded agent, the things that we provide for the customer is second to none. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and I'm not just saying that just because I just happen to be a loaded agent, but when you really look at it, in the grand scheme of things, is you want to get your client, especially your sellers, as much money as possible.
Yes.
Right? So, just some of the things that we offer, just as far as, the cash deals with the loaded cash offers, just that within itself, man, just puts us above the rest. Even when you're talking about, investors, we're gonna still be investors.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like I said before, if I love it at full price, I'd really love it at a discounted price, right? But at the end of the day, we get the opportunity to where we can get it. We can provide this service. We can offer this cash offer that's still gonna beat out
all the investors.
And it's going to give you more money in your pocket
and no stress. What they don't understand about it is like, look, going on this Chuck E. Cheese or whatever you about to do, Disney World, what that 3 day, just go.
We got it.
Like we got it. Yeah. It's all backed by numbers. It's all vetted.
We got it.
If I say it's, I'm not. One of my favorite books, Money Mike put me on. It's called Rigging the Game.
Yeah.
We rigging the game. We only taking the stuff that we know we going to win. And I try to teach people about it every day, and they don't want to listen to it.
Yeah, like you say, if I can't do it, I'm not going to tell you I can do it.
I'm not. Why would I even stress myself out like that? What would you say to somebody who's like, man, I'm really thinking about this loaded agent mentorship. Like, I know they ain't taking team members, but like, I'm really thinking about this loaded agent mentorship. Like, what would you say to them?
Man, do it. Just do it, man. It's funny because a buddy of mine, man.
Yeah.
One of my guys, man, we actually moved down together. So we came down again. This is right before the pandemic. It was a leap year.
Yeah.
So it was man, we came down and we kicked it
That's
for
crazy. Pandemic
for
and
that
a
time.
leap
Like
year.
literally right before
Yeah.
like the end of February, we came down together, me and my buddy, and he hit me up on my he inboxed me. He like, hey man. He like, man, how can I get down? I said, look, dog. I said, man, just get your license. And the thing with me and him is we've done several business things together.
Yes.
Like he'll be like, Freeman, I got this. He like, man, I think I got this thing going on, man. Hey, let's do it. You know, we did Primerica together.
Yep.
We did Forex together.
Yep.
So every business venture that we come across, we essentially somehow end up partnering together with it, right? So I was like, look, bro. I was like, man, hey, he like, what I gotta do? I said, man, you get your license. How long it take? It's 180 hours. I said, I did mine online, but if you go live, it'll be a lot quicker.
You get 5 days.
It'll be a lot quicker, right? So I was like, man, you thinking about getting licensed? You said, man, shoot, I like what you're doing. I said, listen, you get licensed.
Yeah, I'll put the word.
I said, and then we'll take care of the rest when it's time.
Yeah.
So we'll handle the rest when it's time. So, you know, so just that, man, my thing is, man, do it. If this what you thinking about, man,
you just need the tools. I'll be trying to tell everybody, man, like you already said it, just get the tools. Get the tools.
You gotta get the tools.
You pull up on our mentorship, it's like, if you in NASCAR, it's like pulling it up to the pit stop of Dale Earnhardt's team. Like, it's everything they got is right there. It's like pulling up to the 6th championship page. Like, we got it, you know, and we just, you know, some will, some won't, someone's waiting. Yeah. Are there any standout moments? It's got to be this Novation deal. But are there any standout moments that you've discovered with yourself now that we've been a little bit more just dialed into the mentorship aspect? Are you like, what's really standing out to you now? Like, damn, I could really get this bag. Like, and it could be regular.
Man, you know what? People don't really understand. Like, I think some people know it. And, you know, and some people, they kind of just don't really think about it. But behind every great person is another great person, right? So, you know, I was in a position where, and I was explaining this to my wife, like, you know, Nicole will pull out the best, right? She was just so motivational, man. She was just like, I mean, and I would text like, all right, this is what I'm doing.
Yep.
Cause she was like, all right, Stevie, well, we gonna go every day. You gonna hit me up every day and you gonna let me know what you're doing. And she was like, man, it's almost like pumping a well. She like, you know, you gonna pump.
I love that she listens. I be thinking my wife ain't listening to nothing.
You gonna pump, you gonna pump, and ain't nothing happening. And you gonna pump, then you gonna get a drop. So then now once you get that drop, now you know you getting closer. Now I would text her like, all right, well, you know, I got a couple of responses, but you know, no yeses.
Yeah.
You know? She just keep pumping.
Yeah.
She like, listen, me and Carlos believe in you.
Yes.
Like probably a little more than you probably believe in yourself at the end of the day. She was like, we believe in you. She like, just keep pumping.
Yeah.
Just keep pumping.
Yeah.
So then I would get up, man, you know, and then just you know, as I start the day, you know, I pray, you know what I'm saying? And then
you had a lot going on.
It was a lot happening, man. And then, you know, I was just like, man, hey, I was like, I learned, and I was telling my dad, like, hey, you gotta be more specific, you know, when you asking God for stuff.
Yep. Thank you.
You got to be more specific, right? So, I mean, and then it's little small things. Like my uncle was like, man, every time I go to the grocery store, I say, hey, God, I need this spot in front of the door.
Yeah.
So I noticed, so I was young when he told me that. Yeah. So I noticed like just little small stuff like that. So I'm like, well, if it's that then simple.
It's everything.
So just, I mean, from a spot in front of the door, and it's not a handicap spot.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Every time I pull up, it's a
there.
spot in front of the door. Right? So now it's like, okay, God, listen. I'm calling. I'm texting. I need somebody to say yes today.
Yes.
I'm about
I
to
love
call.
it.
I need somebody to say yes today.
Yes.
Man, and then it was just.
I bet you it wasn't too long from that prayer when that yes.
I'm telling you. And then the call came, and then it was almost too good to be true. Then I was like, because I texted him right afterwards, you know, thanking him for his time. He didn't text back. So I'm like, all right, so now it's Wednesday.
And that's Patrick. He just like that. I done gave him money. He ain't even texted me back. For real.
So now we like, it's Wednesday, but I got into Saturday. I'm like, all right. Friday come up, I text him. Oh, no, we still on.
Great.
All right, I'll see you then.
The thing about God and prayer is like this. This is how crazy it is for me. I'll tell you straight up. I'll be on my knees in the morning for real. I got a prayer pillow, everything. I'll be like, God, thank you for taking the time to listen to me and only me today. I know it's, 9 billion of us.
Yeah.
And a lot of us ain't even doing what we supposed to be doing. So I just want to tell you straight up, I talk to God like I'm cold calling.
Yeah.
But he know me.
He know me.
I'm like, I need 100 bands, right? Like I need this, that. My wife need this. Kids need that. Protect them. Mind, body, spirit. Whoop-de-whoop. By the way, I'm not just asking. Let me know what you like. Just put it in my path.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask if it's from you. I'm going to wait to hear from you, and I'm going to knock it out. You know I got you. Yeah. I talk to God like the homie. That's why he loves me. You understand what I'm saying to me? That's my man. Like, he know, like, he like, all right, Carlos, like, you going to pull out in front of you like this? Yeah. Like, for instance, I prayed for patience. Everything that could set me off happened immediately.
Yeah.
So you like, don't pray for what you need, but act like it's not going to be a burden attached to it.
Yeah.
You said you need 100 bands. I need you to make 100 calls.
Yeah.
I need you to get through 99 no's, and I'm going to give you $100,000 yes.
Yeah. Just when you think that
it's over.
Just when you think it's over. Just when you think it's over, man.
And here's the thing about you, because me and you, we be in the office sometimes. We do lunch and learn, whatever, and we have sideline conversation. When I talk to my wife, she sometimes be acting like she ain't hearing me. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you talk to your wife, you be like, man, you even listening, right?
Yeah.
But then you tell me that story, and there's been times where I've had to say that to her where it pissed her off to hear it.
Yeah.
But she like, I know it worked.
It worked.
And if he went back and they reconciled and had a man-to-man and now we back on the team together, then we probably do believe in you just as much. Or not as much as you know what I'm saying? Because
for sure.
I have more faith. Like I said to Jill today, bro, I be believing in you more than you even believing in you. So stop doing that. You know what I mean?
When we sat down at the restaurant, you would say, "Look, man," you said it wasn't all together then.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And even in the text message, you was like, at the end of the day, we both had some moments where we needed to tighten it up.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And like I said,
because I ain't perfect.
that
I'm trying to lead from a point of imperfection.
You see, yeah, you know what I'm saying. And even with that, like I say, that first separation, man, it was like I say, it was never no hard feelings.
Yeah,
it's just the timing. That's all it was. And, and when you said, you was like, man, look, at the end of the day, I had to correct some stuff. You correct some stuff. Now we back. And you say, man, I got it together. It's seamless. Now this is how it is.
And it is.
And it's everything. And this is what you said it was.
That's what I pride myself on.
You know what I'm saying? And
now with that being said, it is what I said it was. Now you know what it's like to be a father. You got to show your sons, right, how to be a man. So how do you strike balance between the demands of a real estate, like with this deal? Because I'll be like, hey Steve, I might message you. People be like, if we get money together, I might message you while I'm on the Stairmaster. Hey man, we gonna do right.
Do this, yeah.
How do you strike a balance between the demands of being, because you're starting to get successful with this real estate and you putting things in place, whiteboards, timing, you know what I'm saying, organization, and spending that quality time with the boys?
So, just really mapping it out.
Yeah, or getting organized.
Just getting organized, man. Because at the end of the day, on Monday, Thursday, and Friday, at 6 o'clock, I gotta be at football practice.
Yes.
So whatever happens, whatever I gotta do, gotta happen from the time I wake up.
Yep.
Until
that time. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's mainly about, man, like just doing it.
Yeah.
Make it, making it happen, execution. Man. Just make it happen. I don't spend well, I do, cause the baby Bear, who he's 3.
Yeah.
He's at the house all the time.
Though.
He's a baby, right? Yeah. But still, that time is still it's still important.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
It's still important. And he'll come in the office and, I'll be on the phone or on the meeting and he want to, daddy. That time is still important. So just having to make sure that the stuff is done so I can be able to step aside.
I love how intentional you are with your words, because there was 2 times where you wanted to say but you not saying but.
No, because that negates everything.
Thank you.
That negates everything that you said.
It's just a principle thing.
Yeah, I like this, but and everything I said before that don't matter.
All you killed it with the but.
Yeah, it don't matter.
And in language is so important, bro. It's just funny I picked that up. And I ain't never said that to you before. But I noticed I wanted to say it right there because a lot of times when we talk, you intentionally don't say but. And I watch you do it in meetings. I watch you do it in Zoom calls. If you're not that intentional with everything, which is going to lead me to this next question, outside of real estate, what do you like to do to fulfill your personal life and your family life?
So I would, before I bowl.
Yeah.
Right. So
you hit your boy up because I bowl. You know what I'm saying?
So my main so once I was just a little backstory.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So I grew up in the bowling alley.
Yeah.
Right. And I decided to play football. Football and bowling was both on Saturdays.
Yes.
So I had to cut one out.
Ooh.
So bowling had to go.
Yep.
Right, because I'm gonna be a football player.
Yes.
So fast forwarding from 8 all the way up until 23.
Yes.
Right. So I get I'm on my last season in college.
Yeah.
Too many semesters I can't play.
Yes.
Immediately went to bowling.
Yes.
Called my dad like, hey, I can't play. I'm ineligible because I got too many semesters. Hey, I'm a bowl full time. This is a competitive, just because it was still something competitive I was able to do, right?
Yeah.
The difference is now I can really get to the money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I graduated, man. I'm bowling 4 or 5 leagues.
Yes.
With no job.
Yes.
My mama like, you need to get a job. I'm like, I'm not asking you for any money.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm bowling.
Yeah.
I'm winning.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that was one of the things that.
And I'm not asking you for any money. Jobs are for money. I don't need one because I'm getting money.
I'm bowling.
Yeah.
I'm getting it. Right.
Yeah.
So me and Sade got together. I was bowling. I scaled back a lot than what I was before.
Yeah.
Right. But then the pandemic again shut everything down.
Yes.
Right. So now we here. I haven't bowled in a league in 3 years.
Oof.
Right. So I was just like, well, I told her, I was like, and she knows like that's a passion of mine.
Yep.
Right. So I ended up finding a little league where I can get in. I wanted to get an average.
Yes.
Right. So 7 weeks, you bowl 7 weeks, you get your average, 21 games.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, I'm bowling this season coming up.
Yeah.
And that's this season coming up. So in a couple weeks, I'll be bowling again.
This year?
Right? Yeah, this year.
Yep.
So, and that was one of my things. I was just like, man, I want to get back to bowling just because, not just the money. Yeah. Because it'll be times where I go bowling. Yeah. And I've been and messed the league up. Yeah. And now all this extra money. This I done paid the bills. I done did this. So just that extra money it helps out. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Just imagine, you know what I'm saying, in between a couple closings, I go to the bowling alley and then I win $2 or $3 grand. Exactly. Off one game. And here's the thing about it. You also passionate about it. I'm passionate about it. This is what I want to do. Like, Nicole always get on me because I love jewelry, right? I'm like, but I make money from it. See? So it pays for, I don't want to hear nothing. You know? It's like when your mom said, you look like the jeweler. No, I am the jeweler. Exactly. You know? And because I can, like I told my homeboy the story because I just made him a pendant. He my gym buddy. I sell jewelry because I wear it. So they see it and they like, oh man, I'm like, oh yeah, that's my business. Hit him with the link. Now we making a piece. That gonna pay for my next 4. Mm-hmm. And I made money. So like when you said to mama, like, hey, listen, I need it. Why you asking about it? I don't right? And I said to her, I don't ask you nothing about this makeup. I don't say nothing about nothing. So this is my passion. I like it. Don't mess with it. So Sade understood like I needed the bowl. Yeah. And once I found, you know what I'm saying, somewhere, she started this, I believe she started to see just even the difference just in me in general. Yeah, yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just always sitting around. Yep. You know what I'm saying? It ain't just all about football. Yep. Now it's you got multiple passions and you attacking them. Now I can, yeah. It's plan and execute. It's plan, action, execute. Plan, action, execute. Plan, action, execute. Yep. By the way, I ain't even got this here. How important is money in your relationship? I'll be trying to tell men, and I'll let you answer this however you want to. I don't care what you're going through. It's way worse without money. Without having it. Now, for me personally, I put it on an elevated scale because my wife likes stuff. She's super supportive. If we're broke, I was broke. She was like, oh, I have money. She was like, oh, you got money. I was broke. She's like, this is annoying. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I love him, so I'm here with the struggle. I don't want him to be struggling for much longer, by the way. For sure. But if he got to wallow a little bit before he gets his wits about himself, I'm going to be there to support that. Yeah. But what would you say to a man that is thinking to himself like, man, like this money ain't even really that big of a deal. If she don't like me broke, like how, like in a relationship,
how important is for a man to bring that financial aspect, and how much happier is your spouse when you can do that?
Man, it's big, man. If you can, because it brings a sense of security, especially if you can, when you don't have to worry about, you know, the next bill. You know what I'm saying? You get, like I say, being an entrepreneur, you can go from one check, you know, today, and then you might not see the next one for 2 or 3 months down the line, right? Because you just don't know, you know, what anything can happen, right?
Yeah.
So it's nothing like being able to have that money and say, all right, well, I don't have to worry about the bills because now I got 2 months set up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I got 2 months set up to pay, you know, to get us between now and this time, and we can still date.
Yeah.
We can still go X, Y, and Z and do X, Y, and Z, man.
Yeah.
So you know.
And then you got leads falling through the pipeline from that. Yeah.
You know, so at the end of the day, people will tell you, oh, money ain't this, no, but at the end of the day, money is up there with oxygen.
Yes. Because oxygen, and you ain't gotta have it, but
we know it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, just I think that definitely helps take a strain. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, it's a burden. It's
removed.
A burden that's removed.
Yeah.
You know, from you when you figuring out a way to get it and you actually getting it.
Exactly. Like I said to you this morning, I'm gonna stay on you because now you got a little momentum.
Yeah. You gotta keep it going.
You have to. And the thing about it is, like when Nicole said pump, like you get a new bottle of lotion. I know this sounds stupid, but you pump it.
Times.
It don't just come out.
No, you gotta pump it a few times. Same thing, and with the soap, it's just anything in that pump.
Everything. You just when you first get it,
you gotta pump
when you first getting it, you gotta pump.
Gotta pump it.
So we was talking about being a husband, you know, being a father. Now, can you share some wisdom or some tips for maintaining a strong marital relationship while having that demanding career? Because like we talked about, you're not always going to be getting along.
Yeah.
So what would your tip or trick be, or things that you might have heard TD Jakes, or you know what I mean? Like what have you heard or what have you practiced to try to keep it as strong as possible while you are now inserting more disciplines into your bowling, into your which is a passion that can also make money, your real estate, which you see 10 bands.
Yeah.
You get 10 bands 2-3 times a month. Now you at 300,000 and 350 for a year. Now you in that smaller percentile of income earners in the nation.
Yeah.
What would you say to somebody that's like, man, like I want to make sure that I'm balanced at home. I want to make sure that I'm balancing this work thing too.
Yeah.
What's some tips, tricks, or advice that you would give on that?
So just being, man, just really just being able, you know, you gotta, you know, and I want to, you know, really touch on the relationship part, man. You really just gotta, sometimes you gotta hear what's being said without, you know, you gotta hear what's being said without it being said. You know, and, you know, I always, you know, I ain't always been the person that I am.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been one of those, and I'm not no mind reader. You know what I'm saying? But as you grow older, and one thing I learned in, you know, in the marriage counseling, shout out to Run Your Marriage.
Yes.
And James Hayes.
They got a website,
Run Your Marriage. I'll tag you on Instagram.
Give it to me because I want to put it up in the thing.
One of the things, man, is just, you know, they big on, you know, understanding the love languages and hearing
what's not being said.
Hearing your partner, you know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
Being real sensitive to their needs and making sure that tank is full, you know, and you know, just, you know, that's one of the that's a big thing in my relationship, man. Just trying to make sure that I can still meet her at the point of her needs, you know, just
as a man, as a father, you know, as a husband, as a provider, as a protector.
Yeah, every aspect, man. Just making sure, you know, just doing my best. At the end of the day, I'm not gonna be perfect.
You're not.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not perfect. You know what I'm saying? And you know, the relationship not always, you know, what we dreamed of marriage to be.
Yeah.
Right. It's gonna be some bumps. But at the end of the day, man, just being steadfast, man, in that.
Yeah.
Staying prayed up, man. Like I say, man, you gotta just the partner part. Just being supported. At the end of the day, we partners. You know what I'm saying? And just make sure
not
that
counting
it's clear
tabs. Like not you
that
didn't
we
do
not
it.
enemies.
Yeah, because I'm taking the garbage out 7 times in a row, bro.
Yeah. At the end of the day, I just want my wife to understand that, you know what I'm saying, we free world.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
This our team. This is the name of our team. This is what we doing. At the end of the day, everything that we doing needs to be
and we not keeping tab. Like I said, if I gotta take the garbage out 7 times, cool.
Whatever.
If I gotta load the dish, like I'm not even doing that. To the point where I'm looking at it so high where I'm like, look, give me 24 months. I'm gonna have somebody in here taking out the garbage. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You see, that's where I'm at. I told you the last time, I'm not cutting the grass no more.
Period. That's
I don't
ain't
have
nothing.
time.
Shout out to the grass cutters. We need y'all, but I'm not gonna be one.
I can't do it.
You know, like when you said y'all about to get the house, I said y'all need to get the house too. And that's another thing between us and just, you know, good business partners. We put each other on.
Yeah.
You know, so thank you and shout out to what's the lender you just put me on to?
Sam.
Sam's a great dude.
Yeah,
I could tell character
buddy,
right off the rip.
We grew up together, man.
Yeah, he real with his.
We grew up together. And he came down. He came down literally a year after me and my family got down here. He used to hit me up, man. It'd be February. I'm riding around with the sunglasses.
Yeah.
Down. He said, man, I'm about to block you. I said, you'll be down here before you know it. And
boom.
It was funny, man. He was like, hey, man, how about you represent us, man? This the area we looking for.
Yeah.
Hey, man, let's get this house. Mind you, his wife, you know. We gonna take that.
Yeah.
A realtor.
Yeah.
At this time, his wife was a realtor.
Yeah.
But he like, hey, man, set us up, man.
Yeah.
You know, I want you to represent me.
Yeah.
You know, and then, man, and it was just, man, I was just like, man, we gonna do some business, man. He said it. He like, man, we gonna get some money together.
And I think we actually are going to get some more money together now because I just like the way he presents things.
Yeah.
He's a loaded lender. To be honest with you, like he got a lot of different, you know what I mean, like ways to get things done.
And that's what I was telling you
Yeah.
when the one lender came in.
Yeah.
And I asked, I said, hey man, do she do the underwriting?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it was just so much stuff.
Similarities,
you
but
can
she
hear stuff, but people will tell you what they can't do.
Yeah.
And he like, no, I'm gonna do what everybody say they can't do.
Yeah.
He like, and I got a 99.7 closing rate. If I get you
And
approved,
that was the thing with her. She had such tight relationships with underwriting, and because she underwrote before, she know what time it is. Exactly. She know what's happening, what's not happening, and why.
Yeah.
So with that being said, what are your personal goals as a realtor for the next 5 years, and how do you see the Loaded Agent team being able to help support those goals as we evolve? Because I tell you, I got a 7-figure goal for you. I don't know what you got for you, but I need you to have $1 million. What kind of goals what are you looking at?
So to load up.
Yep.
The pockets, just the systems.
Yep.
Man, like you say, I at least, I want to, the goal is to be at that, 3 deals a month at 10 grand a month.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Because I want to see you there.
That does a certain type of, that'll, like you say, that puts you in the bracket where a lot of people, where a lot of people not at.
Are not.
So, I just want to continue to just, like you say, just to keep the momentum going. And, the plan is, like you say, to have those 2 to 5 deals a month, and at the end of the day, the loaded agent, just the loaded agent platform in itself puts you in position to be able to be like, to actually see the financial part coming to fruition as you serve the people, you know what I'm saying, and make sure they getting what they want, whether it's as a buyer or whether as a seller, man. Just being able to, like I say, serve the people and still get paid to do what you love to do.
You said a prayer over the group. I say prayers over the group. I pray over the team all the time. But one day you took it upon yourself to say a prayer over the group. Yeah. And that's when I knew that you had a different type of leadership potential, because when you love Christ, like when you are an ambassador for God, you don't fear judgment. That's why I don't fear judgment. Like if somebody just don't, like, Carlos, I'm an atheist. I'm not, my bad. Mute it.
Yeah, because it's gonna come.
Because it's coming.
I'm gonna pray. And the thing that day was, man, is I understand. I see how much you and Nicole pour into everybody, and in that particular moment, you were getting ready to step on one of a major platform, right? And you was getting ready to speak to a bunch of people on that platform. And at the end of the day, man, I always want, I knew you was busy.
Yes.
And the prayer might have came in, but it may have came in. It may came in a little later, but I wanted to be sure that, you know what I'm saying, that you, because not only were you covered, but your family was covered because they was there too. And at the end of the day, man, I want want God to be the forefront.
Yes.
Of what I do. So I don't want you to see me.
Yes.
I want you to see God through me, right?
Yes.
So that was one of the things that I wanted to make sure that I prayed upon. Like, you know, while you're on stage talking to the people, hide him.
Yes.
You show through him.
Yes.
So that they receive the message.
I love it. I love it.
You know what I'm saying?
That's why I said I got them big goals I put out there for you in prayer. Because you got that leadership potential. And the way I look at the next few years, like you said, you got people looking at you like, how can I be down? Now you got more financial freedom, and you can do what you do best, which is be coach free.
Yeah.
So 2 more questions. Second last one is, it's the real estate whole business is evolving, okay? And as licensed realtors, investors, cash buyers, representing the people, the landscape's changing dramatically. Now, when I bought my first house, my interest rate was 13%. When it went down to 2.9, I already thought it was wild, right? I'm like, wow, this is crazy. Than that. You know what I'm saying? It got lower than that. I've seen people getting them 1.9s for real. So as the industry evolves, what are some new skills that you know from a knowledge standpoint that realtors are going to have to focus on moving into the newer landscape, and it's going to be ever evolving?
Man, knowing those interest rates.
Yeah.
I think those are big.
Yeah.
Because as a matter of fact, even with Sam, me and him we talk often. You know, I asked him, man, we was actually in the middle of somebody having an approval.
Yes.
While the scale was steady climbing.
Yes.
So it went from being approved from this amount down to this amount, and just knowing like it's probably not gonna come back to where we seen it because we was at record numbers, record lows, right? So while you waiting,
the government was manipulating the economy.
Yeah. So while you waiting for a crash, it's probably not gonna come. So now is the time. So one of the things that I think that the agents need to know now, you know, is have you a lender that you can talk to know these questions, because you're gonna get questions from your clients that you're not gonna have the answers to. And I direct them all the time, like, hey, I tell them all the time, like, look, the question that you asking me, I know the answer that I think it is, but I'm gonna ask, we gonna direct it to the lender.
Yes.
Who I know knows it 100%, because I don't wanna, what may be common sense to me may not really necessarily be the right thing.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that knowing those things, man, just again, the interest rates, where they might level off at, you know, they was at 8%, they might come back down to 6.
Yeah.
Take advantage of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think knowing those things, the market trends, I think those things, I think that's big, because one of the agents in one of my earlier deals, you know, they told me, they was like straight up, they was like, if you can be successful during the pandemic, where it's the toughest, you know what I'm saying? Excuse me. And people really was frowning on FHA.
Yeah.
If you can get it done now,
wait till we get another.
When things start to,
you'll be killing it.
Yeah.
You be killing it. And that's why the loaded way is the best way, man. The best way. Like, we literally solving all the problems. So when people like, maybe, I don't know, you still got clients that need you.
That need me.
Like,
I think, and getting them to understand, like, you know, I'm not just the regular.
Yeah.
I'm not just the regular Joe Blow. You know, hitting you up saying, "Hey,
let
me do this for you."
Yeah.
I can really do it.
Check the track. Check
I can
the
really
stat
do it.
sheet. Yeah,
I can really do it. Yeah.
So lastly, when it's all said and done, how do you want to leave your mark? You know, coach free, the dad, the husband, the realtor, the business individual. How do you want to leave your mark as a business individual, and just as a man in general? Like, for example, for me, I want to be known as a connector, authentic, true to what I say, whether it's blunt, whether it's, you know, got roses on it, whatever, honey. Yeah. I wanted people to know that what I say I'm going to do, things of this nature. Yeah. Well, for Coach Free, for Stevie, how does that look?
So that's one of my main things, and you know, I just want people to realize, you know what I'm saying, that I did what I said I was gonna do. You know what I'm saying? You know, the Bible say, you know, let the work I've done speak for me. And at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, and you know, it's no more, you know, Stevie Freeman II, and now it's the generations to come, I want them to understand that no, free world isn't dead.
Yes.
You know, his children and their children are carrying the Freeman name along, and they're carrying that Freeman business along. And the work that I did, while they were young, and the other and my grandchildren, while they not even being thought of, right? The work that I've done, I put the foundation, I did the groundwork, I set it up, and now it's just now they just they gotta coach. The work I did is speaking through, the name.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even when I'm
like
no
Prince,
longer
like
here.
Michael Jackson, like it's like a household name. Yeah. Like when you hear it, you know it, and when you hear it come. By the way, Freeman is such a historically rich name. It's what you're saying is really important. So, like I always say, I appreciate your time. Thank you for coming on. How can the people that are going to watch at home, how can they reach you? What's the socials? I know you said you're going to start working on them socials. What's going on with the socials?
So, listen, my personal page is franchise Stevie Freeman. I run a lot of stuff through there.
Yeah.
But then I'm also Stevie Freeman, the realtor. Those are my Facebook platforms.
Yep.
And then Coach_free. Coach_free. It's not a 2, I don't think.
I think it's just Coach_free.
Coach_free.
Yeah.
On Instagram, on Twitter, it is Coach_free too.
Yep.
You can find me there. Just I'm there. I'm there to stay.
Yep.
I'm about. You're gonna start seeing me on Sir_Free_. That's my son.
Yep.
His platform. As a young up and coming football star, his platform is on his way to being bigger than mine.
Yeah.
So I've decided, I said I'm gonna use his. I make his videos. I tag my card and my stuff on his page. So you see it. He got more Houston followers than I got right now.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So Coach_free on Instagram, franchise Stevie Freeman on Facebook, and you can find franchise Stevie realtor on Facebook. That's the business page, and then www.theloadedagentteam.com. I'm right there. Tag look for agents, and then my face will pop up.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to we gonna come back and do these more.
Yeah.
As we have more success, and I'm just looking forward to watching you just build it up, because like I said, the well is now producing water.
Yeah.
Good, livable, drinkable, reproducible water.
Yeah.
And so I'm happy to see you get it. Again, I appreciate you. Thank you guys as always for tuning in to Loaded Conversation.
Yes, sir.
And I look forward to you seeing a lot more success from you, brother.
It's gonna happen. Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
Don't pray for what you need, but act like it's not gonna be a burden attached to it.
Yeah.
You say you need 100 bands. I need you to make 100 calls. I need you to get through 99 no's, and I'm gonna give you $100,000 yes.
Yeah. I need to be in a position where I can control it.
Yes.
Right?